So now we find out it's a pattern and practice.
Well,
and so you asked me about
Yeah.
policy. So bad policy can hurt a lot of people, more even sometimes than bad law. Policy really runs the show, especially in the place of employment. And so this is clearly bad policy. So how important is good policy? It's very important. It's important to doing the job of district attorney or any elected position of leadership.
At the highest level of local and county enforcement, what are the things that you would have done different in this type of situation?
I would have put first of all, we could have asked the MHMR group down at St. Joseph's to hold her longer. The head of an agency can call the head of an agency. There can be an MOU so that you have a standing policy if this kind of situation comes up, that you would ask the mental health system to keep her in a sense in protective custody. We could have put her in a hotel.
One of the biggest...
We could have left her with her family. We could have postponed the trial. Rape has no statute of limitations. We could have tried the other victim's case. We could have relied on scientific evidence. We could have done many other things to make the community safe and not destroyed a young woman in the process. I just, you know, lawyers like doctors do no harm first.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I'm going to take up for Devin a little bit because I do believe her when she says that she never wants to see anybody go through something like this, and this was never part of what, in her mind, you know, how you treat a victim. I do believe her on that. The thing is, and I want to know how this could be corrected in your office or how you would suggest correcting it, because I view the problem as something that never got to her desk until it was too late.
Well, that's an assumption, and I think until she gives her deposition,
I agree. But
in that civil rights case, we're not going to know. But she got on television and said key personnel made the decision. They can't dismiss a DWI without permission. They can't dismiss a criminal trespass. I've had those cases. Couldn't dismiss it without running the dismissal up the chain. My client had come back to court several times. I mean, we know how little discretion. So you know the chain of command, Jimmy.
Yes.
So it went to, this is the number two prosecutor. It went to the chief.
Right.
It went to the division chief. It went to the trial bureau chief. Now, some of the folks in these prominent and important administrative positions, Goodhart, others, you know, their name, this isn't the first time it's come up. We've seen them in other prosecutorial misconduct cases. We've seen judgment that is not just questionable, but unethical. And so how far did it go? When did she know? She hasn't told us.
she hasn't.
She hasn't told us. So, you know, until the evidence is in, I think it's an unknown. But there are at least 3 of these cases. I find it very disturbing. I would not allow such relief to be asked from a court without some kind of approval. But let me say, I want our lawyers to have discretion. I want assistant DAs to be real lawyers, be able to, if they take a case, they ought to be able to plead a case. If they're going to try it, they ought to be able to plead it or dismiss it. I don't want lawyers having to do the wrong thing because they think they're going to lose their job.